Got a grease gun. I think there should be an extra battery on the charger. Is this the same as the... No, I don't think it'll fit in the Milwaukee. Or will it? You never know unless you try, right? Looks the same. Oh. Nope. Nope. It's not gonna fit. Because, well, it's just a little bit too wide of a battery or a opening right there. Whereas the Milwaukee's a little narrower. Or unless, was I holding it? Nah, it's not gonna fit. Two different batteries. Well, that stinks. Found a battery charger. Somebody gave, or I think somebody gave Dad an extra battery with his grease gun, or one was given to him. But something up here is made a mess, and just, I think it was this, got warm and oozed out. Ew, what a mess. It's part of the job. Yuck. But hey, we got it cleaned up. The one thing that I like about this camera mount, this new one that I bought, is I can... Heck do I do with my screwdriver? There it is. Is that I can virtually stick this camera anywhere that I want and be able to capture different angles from the task at hand. Whereas before, the other mount that I had, I had to find a, it was a horizontal mount. Or wait a minute, was it horizontal or vertical? I can't remember right off the top of my head. But it was, you had to find a flat piece of metal to get the camera to stick to, because if you stuck it to anything other than a flat piece of metal, you just weren't going to get the greatest camera angle. Just like what I'm doing now is moving you guys down the way as I grease this, so that way we can converse in conversation, and you guys can just actually see how I go about with greasing this thing. It takes a little bit of time to grease this tool, but I would rather take a little extra time and do the job right, then fly it around and miss half the fittings. I've greased this tool this way for a number of years. You always start with the wings up. You do center first. It's just easier that way. So you don't have so many no-till holders to weave your way in and out of, bang your head on stuff. It's just a whole lot easier doing it this way. Yeah, it takes the same amount of time, but I'd rather not bang my head on the holders and keep my brain where it belongs, inside my head. And that thing's following me around again. Heston's all ready to go on the auger. For those of you curious, now have a Heston, what size the drain plug? Yeah, listen to me. Hydraulic dipstick is for hydraulic oil. It is a 13 millimeter metric wrench or a socket. Right here is the plug, right to the right of the, I'm gonna call this, what the heck was that? To the right of the transmission rear end is this, where you'll find this dipstick there. And that is again a 13 millimeter deep well socket or a wrench, metric that is. corn head right in the same spot, kinda. Right there, I think will work. Heston's been cleaned up. Need to carry them blocks in that we'd cut up behind the sprayer. There's some really nice lumber back there that we had the Amish cut for us. We had cut these to length. Just took a chainsaw and cut them to what we needed. These are what we used to block the dozer up with when we took tracks off of it. Put on new chains, sprockets, front idlers, and a couple rollers. These come in really handy for that. We need to keep them out of the weather so that way they do not deteriorate and start to rot and break down, because that's what happens when wood sits outside. And that wood still looks as fresh as the day that it was cut into well, big chunks like it is. Kind of made me thinking about placing that lumber right here, I think. That way it's tucked out of the corner. Now, if we bring that darn asphalt roller back over, put it somewhere, but that'll be for another day. Could always find another place for this junk or valuable farm equipment. That grass seeder especially is valuable. That could almost go upstairs. Well, no, we keep the truck tires up there. That barrel sprayer could go upstairs. We just have to use a skid loader to get it down if we ever needed to. We could tuck the asphalt roller, back it in on this end here. Maybe just put the junk around it for now. I don't know. But then again, with it being back in there, if the dang thing don't start, like it always likes to lose prime after it sits for a little bit, we always have to end up pull starting the stupid thing. And you can't really pull start it being backed in against a post there, because you have no way of getting it out and around. At least with it backed in the corner here, you got a better shot at getting the thing out this way. We'll just have to see how it all pans out. I originally thought about just tucking them up closer. Maybe we will eventually. Just wanted to get them in out of the weather right now, so that way they don't rot and deteriorate like I was explaining earlier. that 8300 put to bed here. I should have gotten it a little bit against the wall, a little bit easier, but that 6120 wasn't in here at the time, and that 8300 was behind it with enough room to get it out. I am not that good at cramming things up against a corner. I guess I could try it again, but then that would be just one less time on a starter too. You got to think about that. Bigger the tractor, bigger the cost to repair. And I was instructed not to start the tractor more times than necessary. It's not a necessary thing to start the tractor just to move it over against the corner, or I should say put it in the corner of the building, because bigger starter, bigger engine, more expensive than the 7000 series 3010, the John Deere 6120E, John Deere 4020, John Deere B 720D. Well, except the 720, that's a pony start. That's a whole nother breed of starter on that tractor. That's got a little V4 pony in that thing, just like the old Caterpillar bulldozers, crawlers used to have in them. The Farm OM is a direct start. I think that starter, I had to pay like $700 for that starter. Yeah. So, a moral of the story is we don't need to be starting things more than we absolutely need to. I could have, when I was backing the thing in, I had thought that I was back against the corner of the building far enough. Well, I could have gotten myself out of the tractor, left it run, horsed around, and screwed around and done a better job of getting it back in the corner the first time, like it was when I pulled it out, but it just didn't work like that. So what we're going to do now is, I was actually going to crawl up in that thing, get some glass cleaner. Or you know what? No, there's none in that one, but there is some in this one here. I put some glass cleaner in this thing, and there's this little tray down here. Where's my glass? Oh, that's right. That's right, I shoved it. I stuck it down here because, for those of you that don't know, a can of glass cleaner fits really nicely down beside the air conditioner vent down here. I mean, that fits just like it was meant to be there. But I'm going to borrow it to clean the windows on that 7810. They are absolutely pristine on this 8300. So we're not going to touch this thing. We're just going to do that 7810, and we're going to call it a day. Actually, I parked the thing right in a good spot in the building to where you can see the impurity, or imperfection rather, on this windshield, and how there's a big smudge right in the middle of the thing. If you kind of look at it off to the side a little bit, and that is from the wiper blade when we were cutting soybeans in Atwater last week. I had to have something going to keep the dust, to get the dust off the window. And, well, to my dumb self, the wiper blade, rather, smeared the window. I've never changed one of these out in my life. There's a couple of clips here and stuff like that I have no clue. It looks like you got to take a real tiny screwdriver, undo that bolt right there, and then this thing separates. And then to put the new blade on, you got to line it all back up, put that real tiny screw back in, screw it all back down. We're not going to be doing that today. We're going to be just cleaning windows with Windurex. Oh yeah. Good thing to get the dirt off so that I can have clear visibility. And once your paper towel gets all dirty, nasty, cruddy, you can just simply unfold the thing, put the dirty side inside just like that, and you can keep going. Oh, there it is up there. My balance sucks. I'm just gonna be honest. It sucks. I don't know why, but it does. I don't know if I'm just scared to do some things, but that's why I don't go skydiving or any stupid things like that, because I want to live. There. Probably isn't the world's safest thing to be trying to balance myself up here with no stepladder. It's always fun trying to get down though. Okay, time to get down. Oh. Oh, I need something to grab a hold to. Grab a hold of this. Oh gosh, darn it. I done screwed myself. Darn it. Well, this sucks. Ain't nothing to grab a hold to under the cab. Can't grab a hold of the wiper arm. Oh. Yeah. Dang. I'm already good at footing. Oh shoot. I missed. Uh-oh. Dang. Oh crap. Forgot my glass cleaner. Okay. Makes a guy feel a whole lot better inside to have nice clean windows to look out of when it comes time to either run the grain cart, tillage tool, loader tractor, whatever it is that has windows. It's always good to have nice clean windows to see out of. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you haven't done so already, I want to invite you to hit that red subscribe button at the bottom of the screen or the bottom of the video. That way you can stay informed on what is going on with my videos as far as getting notifications and things like that. So hope you guys have a great rest of your day. I'll catch you in the next video. What's going on, guys? Northeast Ohio Farmer here with another video. So we're going to be doing our next thing on the list is we're going to try and set that auger or a wagon up to that auger there. So I'm not so sure how well this is going to go, but yeah, we're going to give it our best shot. Just washed this tractor this morning. What do you see? What do you see on the hood? Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, that went better than expected. We need to push the wagon a little bit closer to the auger, just so that that chute hits the bottom of the wagon, securing a nice tight seal so that way corn don't leak out it. Got the power shaft hooked up to the tractor, so figured you guys can watch me push that up a little bit.